Let me ask you something. Why is that in the richest country on earth, millions of people are one emergency away from disaster? Why is even six-figure earners are drowning in debt? Why is Gen Z already feeling burned out before the age of 30? And why it feels like no matter how hard you work, you are always just behind. If you feel like American dream is broken, you are not crazy, but you are also not stuck. In this video, I will show you why most Americans are broke in 2025 and the exact step-by-step plan to escape it. No fluff, no fake motivation, just a system that actually works, even if you are starting from zero. So let's dive into it. Let's start with the facts. This is not just about salaries. It's about the systems that Americans are stuck in. So here is a key data breakdown. Number one, living paycheck to paycheck. 63% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. No saving buffer, nothing left to fall back on. Shockingly, 45% of six-figure income earners are also living paycheck to paycheck. Can you believe that? Yes, and they feel the same struggle. So the richest country in the world have people living paycheck to paycheck. So even if you are earning in six figures, you are just one paycheck away from a financial crisis. Number two, credit card debt. The total debt on credit card in the United States is $1.3 trillion. In 2025, this data came in and this blow my mind. And the average APR is between 21% to 24%. And believe me that half of it is actually skewed towards 27 to 30%. And that's horrifying numbers. Really scares me up. How people are gonna pay. I remember President Donald Trump was telling before the election campaign that he will negotiate with banks to reduce the credit card interest rate from 25-30% to below 10%. And I don't know if there is any progress on that, but if there is any progress on that, I will definitely keep you updated. But this is something which is very horrifying. 27 to 30% of interest rate many people are giving on these credit card debts. And it's not about the banks which are charging. It's about you and us who are responsible for this kind of interest rate. Why we have to use such card which has this kind of interest rate? And second of all, why to use credit card at the first place? Don't use credit card if you are not financially responsible. So you are not broke, you are just renting out money at a very high interest rate, and that's exactly what is called credit card right now. It's not about points, it's not about convenience, it's about your habit, and we all guilty of that. We think that it's a plastic and we are giving our plastic, we are swiping it, money is deducted and we get back that plastic. Then we feel like we are losing nothing, but it actually compounds. And by the time your monthly statement comes, you already have the interest rate added to your account. You have to pay the fee for all the purchases that you have done so far. So this is something which need to stop, and people need to be financially literate to be careful about credit cards. Number three, emergency saving cap. Only 41% of Americans can afford even $1,000 of emergency. And that's a really sad number. And even more sadder fact is that almost 21 to 27% of Americans cannot afford any emergency because they have zero emergency savings. That means roughly 7 out of 10 Americans would have to borrow money or use their credit card to cover basic $1,000 of expense on emergency. And number four, generational disparity. Gen Z carries more debt and have lower net worth as compared to millennials did at the same age. Even the youngest adults are starting off with deep debt and weaker net worth compared to older millennials. So what's going on is not just about income. It's about a system built on debt, fueled by lifestyle inflation and rising costs. People earn more, but costs are eating up all the earnings. Housing, insurance, food, healthcare, they are all surged faster than the paychecks. And even when income climbs, lifestyle inflation takes over. New houses, new car, premium experiences, spending rises right alongside your income. This is why even six-figure earners who should be comfortable often feels like they are just trading water. Meanwhile, high interest credit is now a norm, not the exceptions, feeding a vicious cycle that stops people saving and building wealth. So now that you know about data breakdown, let's talk about 5 different traps that keeping you broke. Trap 1, buy now pay later and credit creep. Buy now pay later exploded in 2024-2025. In my previous videos, I talked about Coachella, how more than 60% of tickets were sold using buy now pay later. And now here comes DoorDash, comes so many grocery stores that are allowing people to buy groceries or deliver food, which is the basic necessity to buy now, pay later. That's really scary, and people don't realize that interest rate is so high, above 20%. So you are borrowing $100 and you are paying them $20 more when you pay off that $100 debt. That's something we should always avoid, and we should never get in this kind of trap. So these microloans make it very easy for people to borrow, and they don't realize it before they spend all over with a 20% interest rate. So this was about trap 1. Trap 2, financial illiteracy. This is something that people should definitely know about. Financial education should be part of every curriculum in school and colleges, and that I personally think is very needed. I myself, I know that how much broke I was at one point of time in life because I had no financial education, and I did everything wrong that financial gurus teach online, and I did everything wrong that you can think of. So learning from my own life, I can feel that why is it so important to have financial literacy. And financial illiteracy is another trap in which Americans have struck in. Only 34% of Americans can pass a basic financial literacy quiz. School doesn't teach taxes, debt, and inflation. So what do you expect? Most people can't even explain how interest works, but they owe thousands of dollars. Trap 3, subscription poverty. Nowadays, everyone will ask you for subscription. Like I go for a car wash, they ask me, would you like to subscribe with just $30 per month? And for one wash, they charge you $34. But for subscription, they can wash your car every single day for just $30. And you know why it is still successful? Because people just subscribe and forget about it. And there are thousands of people like that in one area. So the car wash company can really earn from them. And the same thing happens to so many things in our life. We subscribe, we forget about it, we keep paying them monthly, and years after we realize that, oh my god, we didn't cancel this subscription. And that is how companies are making money. So never subscribe anything till you absolutely need it. So average person pays for 7 to 10 subscription in a month, and many are unused, completely unused. Netflix, Hulu, Apple, Spotify, and gym and car wash, these are all subscription. I mean, Americans are drowning in subscription debt. I'm telling you, if you don't use it for 2 months, just unsubscribe. Even if it is Netflix, even if it is Amazon Prime, if you're not using it, just unsubscribe. You don't need to take a bundle package for yearly subscription, because you know why they make it cheaper for yearly subscription? Because they know that you will use it for 2 or 3 months, and the remaining part you will never use. So that is why they make it cheaper for you. And this is the trap where every one of us fall for it, and that's something that we should work on. So this is a trap that we can all clearly see in our daily life. Trap 4, rising inflation but stagnant wages. Prices have surged since 2020, but median wages haven't increased. Groceries, rent, car insurance, everything increased, but not increasing is what? Average medium household income. And that's the trap where we are struck in. So if you were working since 2020 and you are getting per year 2 to 3% of your income raise through your job, but inflation is 7-8% every year, then in that case you are losing a lot of money. So it is our duty to find out a way to increase our income, or otherwise we will be drowning in the debt because of inflation and rising cost. And trap number 5, flex culture. Pressure of looking successful on Instagram and TikTok. And this is the new trend that many Gen Z has fallen into. The aesthetic lifestyle on TikTok and Instagram is costing people 5 to 10 years of real financial progress. And that's the reality. So now let's talk about the real stories and try to understand how people are managing their finances in this market. Behind the Instagram filters and seemingly normal lives, millions of Americans are silently drowning in debt. So let's talk about Ashley. Ashley is a girl living in Chicago. She is working in a marketing firm as a marketing manager. She earns a decent amount of money, $85,000 a year, and some bonus. Now she is well above the median income of United States. On paper, she is doing great. Now, $3,000 per month she pays for a trendy one-bedroom apartment in downtown Chicago. And you need to understand, it's still cheaper because in New York City it costs like $5,000 to $7,000 for one-bedroom apartment. $800 per month for her luxury SUV. And a lot of people do in their young age is they go and buy luxury car, and as a result they have to make payments, and this is one of the cases. Now Ashley is 28-year-old, so of course she is quite young and she just wanted to live a lifestyle of looking rich, and using buy now pay pay later, she bought furnitures, electronics, and even vacation. So when she posts on social media, it looks like a dream, but in reality, she is drowning in debt, and she have to use her credit card to cover the difference. So she have almost $25,000 on her credit card by accumulating all this debt at interest rate of 24%. She's paying $500 per month in interest alone. She haven't contributed a dime to her retirement account, and she admitted sometimes that she cannot sleep because of thinking about debt. And this is because of the lifestyle creep in action. In 2018, she was earning only $45,000 and $1,200 per month she was paying for rent because she was living with other roommates. But now she make almost double and still feel broke. Why? Because this is lifestyle inflation. When your lifestyle inflates faster than your income, you just get busier and more anxious. Now let's talk about Marcus. He's 35, living in Florida, and he earns $60,000 as a sales representative. And sometimes he drives Uber in weekends just to make the ends meet. He's married and have 2 kids, and every dollar he earns have a job to do. $1,600 per month is his rent, $700 for groceries since groceries been up after 2020, $1,000 per month on healthcare, daycare, and insurances. And Marcus is also not able to save any money for 401k, no retirement account, no saving account. I make okay money, Marcus says, but it's not enough to breathe. We are not building wealth. We are just surviving. These are the words from Marcus. And here's the hard truth. In 2010, $60,000 was a middle class income. In 2025, it barely covers the basics. Marcus used to save $200 to $300 per month, but now he's using his credit card to cover the difference. And this is the reality we live in. So the comparison that this hurts. Ashley makes over $85,000 and feels broke because of lifestyle inflation. On the other side, Marcus makes $60,000 and still feel broke because of the rising costs. Both are spending more than they can afford. One is spending for desire, another one is spending for necessity. But in both cases, the result is same: debt, stress, and no long-term wealth. Okay, enough doom scrolling. Now let's talk about solutions. If you are stuck in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, or just feeling like money vanishes as soon as it hits your account, this is how you can escape the broken cycle in America. No fluff, just a 6-step plan that actually works, even if you are starting from zero. Step number 1, know your numbers. Most people don't have a spending problem, they have a clarity problem. Track every dollar that comes in and goes out. Awareness is the first superpower, and the tools you can use is free. Use Google Sheet or Notion templates. You can use money tracker like Mint or Monarch Money. The goal is to find your leaks, where the money is leaking, where you are spending more, where you are not tracking your money. Unused subscription, lifestyle creep, emotional spending, these all need to be cut out, and you need to know your numbers. Step 2, build a starter emergency fund. Before you pay off your debt or invest more money, first start with an emergency fund. This is very critical for you. Why? Because we live in a world where job is so temporary that any day you can get a call from your boss, and boss will tell you that you are fired from a job. You have no access to anything and you will be struck. So building an emergency fund is very critical to you, and you should definitely do it. Start with $500 to $1,000 in your emergency fund and put them in the high yield savings account so that it can grow at the rate of 4 to 5% interest rate. Suggested bank can be Ally or SoFi, and there are so many which gives you good interest rate on your savings. So start with that and keep increasing it by weekly deposits of $50 or $100 per month, so that you can keep growing it till you reach 3 to 6 months of your emergency fund. And that's very critical when you have a family. So build that emergency fund and you will have a lot of confidence in yourself that you can change your job or take some risk and do well in your life. And trust me, you will get a better sleep when you know that you have an emergency fund. Step 3, eliminate high interest rate debt. For example, credit card, buy now, pay later. These are all high interest rate debt, especially credit cards. When you have interest rate of over 20%, this is really going to eat up all your savings. You should eliminate your high interest debt. Whether you use snowball method or avalanche method, I would suggest you to start with the smallest debt you have, pay it off, and make sure that you are not accumulating any kind of new credit card debts. And at the same time, I would suggest you that if you are not financially responsible, if you don't have control over your emotions in spending, then just cut it off. Cut off your credit cards. Step 4, automate your finances. Do you know 401k why it became so successful? Because your employer take away your money and put it into retirement account, and in that way it became a habit that you don't even look into it. And the same way you can automate all your finances, and in that way you will build wealth because of this automation. So rich people, they don't go manually and click on each payment. They automate everything. Just pay off your credit card before the statement is created. So always automate everything. Your rent, your phone bill, your electricity bill, your credit card debt, everything should be automated. Don't rely on the willpower. Just automate everything. Build system that saves and invest before you even touch your money. And that should be the goal. A simple breakdown can be 20% of your money into savings, 10% to investments, and the remaining money will go into bills and other monthly expenses. Even if you can start with 5% of savings, build the habit now and scale it later. Most of the bank offers you this option of auto transfer, so utilize that and make sure your finances are all automated. So make savings and investment your default behavior, not the afterthought. And step 5, boost your income the smart way. Cutting lattes and coffee will not make you rich. Increase your willpower to think out of box. How on the same job you can increase your payment. Look around. See for your same skill set that you are having. If someone is getting paid more, try to find out who pays the best with best benefits and try to get that job rather being stuck in one job and not applying or not even trying. So it all starts with here. If you really want to increase your income, you will increase your income. So it's your willpower that decides if you can increase your income or not, and also skill set, of course. So make sure that you are acquiring skill set that can actually make you rich. And on top of that, you should pick a side hustle that can actually make you rich over time. You don't need to be master in the beginning, but you can build over time, whether it's going to be freelancing on Upwork, Fiverr, etc., or tutoring on teaching what you know already, like Preply, Outschool. Focus and try to improve yourself every day 1%, and in that way you can actually build a very good wealth building side hustle. I have made a dedicated video to talk about the side hustles that you can check out here. So the goal is to add $500 per month. That's $6,000 per year, and it's enough to cover for your one credit card debt or funding your IRA account. But you should try this. Step 6. Start investing, even if it is small. I have made a dedicated video about investing and how investing has changed life. You can check out the link above. But on this topic, I will tell you that you don't need to be rich. You just need to start somewhere. So start with even a fractional share and keep increasing your investment. And in that way, you will definitely build wealth. It is a long process. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, but it definitely makes you rich over time. Investing is also not about gambling on next stock. It's about owning an asset that grows over time, like S&P 500. This is something that you call it investing. I'm not talking about gambling on options trading or anything. Start with $25 or $50 per week and start investing your money into VTI or SCST. VTI stands for Vanguard Total Market Index Fund, and SCST stands for Schwab's US Dividend Equity Fund ETF. Use platforms like Fidelity, Vanguard, Robinhood, and try to start investing. And it is well said that time in the market beats timing in the market. So it's not about the timing when the stock is down that you can purchase. It's about the amount of time that you invest in the market. It's going to multiply. It's going to be fruitful for you if you invest in the right stocks. So these were the 6 simple steps that you can implement in your life, and you can definitely get out of this cycle of being financially broke. And the reality is the broke cycle in America is real, but so is the escape plan. The system may be stacked, but you don't have to play dumb. Track your money, build your cushion, kill the debt, automate the growth, multiply your income, and invest like your future depends on it, because it does. So which step you are going to take right now? Tell me in the comments below. Now the very important thing I want to talk about in this part of the video, which is the mindset reset. Scarcity versus ownership. Here is the truth no one tells you. Money is just not numbers. It's psychology. You cannot outbudget a scarcity mindset. You have to reprogram how you think about money, or you will keep running in circles no matter how much you earn. So now let's talk about the scarcity and ownership, the mental shift that changes everything. Scarcity sounds like, I'm not just good with money. There is never enough. I will save when I make more. People like me don't get rich. This mindset keeps you in the survival mode. You start playing defense. You hustle to pay off your credit card debts, but never get ahead. You live in the fear of every emergency, every unexpected event. Now let's flip it and talk about how ownership sounds like. Every dollar I am spending is a vote for the life I am building in. My money works for me, not the other way around. I don't wait for permission, I take control. Wealth is built with intention, not income. It's not about being rich, It's about deciding that you are not the victim of your own finances, you are the architect, and build yourself from customer to a creator. The system wants you to be a consumer, scrolling, swiping, spending, stuck. You were never supposed to build wealth. But the moment when you decide to become a creator of value, of assets, of habit, the entire game changes. Stop buying and start building. Stop flexing and start funding your future. Stop reacting and start designing. You don't need a race to get rich. You need a plan and the belief that you can follow through. People think the secret is 200k job, but you want to know the real secret? The real secret is a 50k job with a mindset that says, I'm going to save, invest, create, and grow no matter what the world throws at me. With that, I conclude this video. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit.